Hi Justin, thanks for the footage. Just walk you through a few areas that you might want to focus on regarding to your hook. Hand path P1 to P2 could be a little bit more in. Knees could change flex a little bit more, which would assist with that. Camera's a little bit off, so that's a touch misleading because the shoulder tilts are horrendous. So hands just a fraction more in, knees changing flex just a fraction more. P3, lead wrist goes into a little bit of dorsiflex. You sort of flatten that out nicely as you approach the top. But if you had a little bit flatter lead wrist at that point, feeling maybe that the palm of the right hand is facing towards the camera a little bit more, that would just tidy things up. P3 and then P4. You start to see one of your issues as you approach P4. You start to see the head sort of moving away from the wall, so to speak, and the pelvis tucking under a little bit too much. I've no real issue with the heel lifting at this point. I put a circle around there for a different reason. As you then transition, and this is one of the checkpoints that you want to keep your eye on, the shaft gets a little bit deep at P5. We just missed P5 there, but it just deepens below mid bicep. So we'd want the shaft on the base of the bicep at P3, which if you flattened out the lead wrist at that point, that would also shallow the shaft. If you were changing flexing the knees a little bit more, P1 to P2, the hand path and the lead arm as a result would be inward more, which would have the shaft sitting lower. But then at P5 we want the shaft to be higher than it was at P3. So in your case it's getting lower, and it's getting lower because the pelvis is tucking under too quick, the head's coming away from the wall too quick. And this is where I put the circle around the lead heel for you, or the lead foot. And I want you to pay attention to what the lead shoulder does as well. So the shoulders level out pretty quick. You see the right shoulder dropping under there. The lead heel, as it plants, you get into the lead heel too fast. So we want to feel sort of pressure going in and staying in the front portion of the lead foot by P5. I'm feeling like, now this is obviously from face on, I've got to guesstimate here, but the lead shoulder needs to stay down more and more level from 4 to 5. So we've got a little bit of a rerouting problem courtesy of what the pelvis is doing. We've got the feeling that, or we've got a situation where the lead shoulder gets a little bit too high, a little bit too soon. We get a little bit too much into that lead heel a little bit too soon. We're seeing there the wrist conditions established at P3, still a little bit extended, and then we just get everything underneath with the handle raising. So from there, as any good player who's suffered with a hook, which most of us have over the years, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you leave the club face passive, you're going to block it. If you're trying to roll it, it's a very chaotic way of playing golf. Obviously, the higher the handle, the greater the rate of closure. And there you go. You know, that drive didn't look a bad one. The flight was pretty nice on that, as all good players do. You can learn how to coordinate those movements. But you can see there as you exit, there's evidence of that high rate of closure, that stalling of the body. Because as you extend and tuck under and pull away from the wall, the rotational aspect diminishes. You could attack this a few ways. You could start by placing a bar, target side, round about mid bicep, trying to get underneath it. You could learn how to stop quick, spend a lot of time hitting balls, stopping quick with pretty straight pretty straight arms, maybe feeling like P9 is as far as you go. So hit the ball as hard as you want, stopping at P9. I'm tending to work more towards the with a lot of guys now, and it's really helping in regards to what you're experiencing here, and it's something that you can do with any club in your bag, and that's pop an alignment cane down the end of the grip so it's sticking out along your side at P1, and the goal is to keep it off the side throughout the swing. Now, realistically, that's not easy to do, and you're not likely to do it with your driver, but you should certainly be able to keep the cane off the side up until P7.5, at which point you'll feel some contact. But it's a really great way of discouraging that tucking under, controlling the rate of closure, stabilising the club face, and lowering the exit. If you need some more clarity on that, then obviously I can send you some footage or some demonstrations across. But if you have the cane, I'm just going to get rid of those lines now. Alignment cane coming out of the butt of the club and extending along your side. Now, as you swing the club now, a lot of things will start to change in anticipation of what you're trying to do with the cane. So it'd be interesting to watch your hit cue like that. You know, if you can get going with it, stick it in your driver as well. Don't be frightened of using your driver with this. Stick the cane down the shaft of the driver, have it protruding just beyond the torso, so the cane should sort of stick out maybe to about there. And just start off with some practice swings, no ball required. Then start chipping a few balls down, focusing on keeping that cane off the side. You'll find it establishes some really good alignments at P1 as well. It encourages the ball to be back of the lead shoulder, encourages the handle to be a little bit more forward and up, and which in turn flattens out the lead side. So a lot of that geometry we want to try and build the draw in is established when you do this exercise. Then when you're hitting shots down, if the cane hits your side, that's a sign that for whatever reason you're overtaking too fast or the rate of closure is too high. So it's a really good exercise to firm and stabilise things, or firm things up and stabilise things really, really quickly. And I'm sure you'll start to see that ball flight sort of really straighten up. And when you do get the cane hitting your side, that ball will hook pretty quick on you. So very much task driven. The more you do it, obviously, the better you get at it. But what I like is it doesn't require a lot of thought. What it enables you to do is practice in a consistent environment. Then when you film it, you can start to look at some differences. If you get a chance to do this over the weekend, please send me some footage across from down the line again, because I'd be interested to make a comparison for you at that point. A few areas that I think you'll see a big difference in are here at 5. Definitely at 5.5, where you see the shaft starting to get underneath the trail arm. And you should start to see a dramatic difference from 5 to 5.5 to sort of 6.5, just by the act of trying to keep that shaft or that cane from hitting your side. Now, as you change your alignments here at 5.5, 6.5, 6.8, then the body's going to start to look a little bit different as well. Hand path through the ball will definitely change, as will the exit. You probably find that you can only sort of swing to sort of P9 anyway, and we can see evidence of that running out of the arms in a sort of more traditional follow through, if you will, which is usually a sign that there's a little bit of disorganisation on the way through, hence the hook pattern that you're experiencing. So if you get any questions on that, feel free to drop a line. Thanks for your help in the sort of ongoing project that we've got in the pipeline. Appreciate that, and obviously look forward to hopefully one day meeting up and spending a bit of time on the range and having a beer. See you soon. Bye.